how do you feel about potentially rapping something?
Right now? Oh my God, nah. I'm running out of my patience. I'm gonna just take this shit back to the basics. Yeah, Nasty a big man now. My whiskey shit, I developed the tasting.
We can start walking.
Nope.
Oh, you okay? Oh, you stepped in some shit.
Good. Nah, you fine, bro.
So, by the way, do you remember my name?
Sage, right?
Nice. Nasty C. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you.
So, thanks for being here for Street Walks in New York.
Yeah.
Your favorite place?
Yes, my favorite place in the world.
I'm just kidding because can I say what we were just talking about? Okay. Because I just asked Nasty C about how he was in LA, and I said something about like New York, and basically he told me like he wouldn't want to move to New York
Permanently.
Yeah. And I was like, you don't like New York? But that's not true. He likes New York.
I like it.
But maybe if he was gonna move anywhere, it'd probably be LA. Even though
I'm
New
from
York's
Durban,
better.
so if you know Durban, you understand why I say that, you know?
Yeah.
Durban is like, it's coastal. We have the beach there, it's a lot of green there, especially where I'm from. The neighborhood I'm from, a walk to the beach is like 20 minutes, you know?
That's so nice.
So it's like relaxing, very calm. That's why I'm this calm also. Like I'm not super hyper.
Yeah. Whereas my energy is like,
No.
am I a lot for you?
No.
Okay. Okay, so thanks for being here on Street Walks. As I mentioned before, very casual, just gonna chop it up about who you are.
Yep.
And I know a lot of people end up asking you about like industry trends, and like, of course we're gonna talk about your music, but to be honest, I'm here because I wanna talk about who you are and the things that make you you,
Yep.
and the things that make you happy and how you navigate hard things. Basically you.
I'm excited.
So to start off, I wanna ask you, is there any one thing that comes to mind as far as kicking off on a positive note, something that inspires you or that you are trying to implement, something like that?
Something that inspires me?
Something positive.
Something positive? Like what? This is very vague, I don't know.
So like for me, I always try to remind myself, like my like quote is
Right.
love life and be brave. So like to
Okay.
me, that's like, no matter what happens, like try to enjoy life and be
Right.
brave through the hard shit. And
Okay.
I don't know if like someone in your life has told you something that's always resonated with you, or maybe for you, you're like, I'm struggling here and I like,
See, I have something that my manager said to me the other day. I guess he kind of saw that I was a little nervous about something and I was kind of anxious.
the worst feeling.
Yeah, just because I came here and it was like, oh shit, there's so much to do and
Yeah.
there's so much that I have to prepare for, you know?
Yeah.
Like a day before, like I have to write these freestyles and go rap them without my phone like the next day type thing.
Oh, that's,
And it was just taking me forever and I was just like panicking a little bit. He was just like, yo, remember, what did he say? Perfection is the enemy of great. Something like that.
of
Something
greatness, of great.
Greatness, yeah, of great. I don't know how you said it. Something like that though.
Perfection is the enemy of greatness, aka you do not
Something
need to
like
be perfect.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm a bit of a perfectionist. I like to really take my time and make sure something is as best as I can do, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
sometimes that can hold me back. So that kind of put me in a better
Yeah.
aspect, yeah.
Like a little bit of ease.
Yeah.
So then were you able to just like accept whatever you had and go with it?
Yeah, I don't lie. A big part of me was still like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But like it helped.
Well, because things like that, like it's not just like, you can't just be told once and be
Right.
like, yeah,
Switch
like
it off,
it's
yeah.
fine, like I don't have to be perfect. When that's like your inclination, that's
Right.
hard to,
It's already
it
in
takes
my
time.
DNA to kind of try all the time, you know?
Yeah. For me, I have to remind myself, there's always tomorrow. I always feel like if I don't finish all my stuff today, like,
Ooh, I try to tell myself there might not be a tomorrow.
oh.
Yeah, see, for me, it's kind of the opposite.
Okay, but where does that come from? Why?
I don't know, man, because a lot of people, and not to get on a negative note, because we're trying to stay positive.
No,
but
I don't
a lot
hear
of,
anything.
A lot of artists, a lot of people in this world of mine, you know, they either lose their life like unexpectedly, or they get a chance and things go wrong. I don't know, because it could be so random. Like
Yeah.
sometimes it doesn't even have anything to do with what they have done. It might be like a thing from the past that just pops up, and then they lose all their connections and all these things that kind of promise them a great future or success. Am I
Okay.
making sense?
Yes, but can you give me a little bit more context? Like, are
Like-
you saying that people are passing away, or they're just losing sight of?
That too. But I'm also saying like, you never know what can happen.
Yeah.
Like something might pop up about my past life before I made it here.
okay.
Before I made all these connections.
Yeah,
Before I signed
yeah.
this deal and that deal and that deal, that might strip me and rob me from all of this promised success
Yeah.
type of thing.
Yeah.
So I never tell myself, oh, it's fine, you could worry about it tomorrow.
Yeah. You're like, I'm seizing
I have to
the
get
moment.
as much as I can right now
Yes, yes.
in case I lose all this shit.
Okay.
You know what I
Okay.
mean?
So I like that a lot, and I agree with that. I think we come from different places with those mentalities.
Right.
Like, I actually feel the same way. I feel the same way, but I think for me, when I say there's always tomorrow, it's like with my work and my getting back to people via emails. Like, I feel like I need to satisfy everyone with emails and the thing, and like never not respond to people. And but the reality is that like I will run myself dry if I try to do that every day. So there's always tomorrow for that stuff.
It's good to hear. Now I can take that and apply it to my life a little bit.
Yeah. Like, it's kind of like you can always say no. You don't always have to say yes. Like, you can apply these things in so many different ways. But anyway, so let's talk about your background.
Mm-hmm.
So you're from South Africa.
Yes, Durban.
And then I'll let you fill in the blank. Like, if you can just paint a picture of what home life was like, family.
Right. So, I come from Durban, a small township. I guess you guys call them hoods, boroughs or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Come from a small township called Ilovo in Durban. Very tiny, very, how would I say this? The ceiling is very low in terms of like goals and aspirations and dreams and stuff like that. Everyone just kind of conforms to what they've been taught type thing. So, grew up in a...
Congrats on getting where you are.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Grew up in a very religious home, strict parents, super strict father. You know, I was kind of the odd one out. Like, out of all my siblings, I'm kind of the one kid who rebelled against my father and chose hip hop instead of academics and stuff like that. So that kind of saved me from being another, person, another statistic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I made it out of my small neighborhood into like the city, from like making music and stuff like that. But still, life was kind of like, it was okay. I wouldn't say it was rough. I didn't have it super, super rough. My father did the best he could to make sure we were all right and doing okay, But just always had like big dreams and stuff like that. And that kind of brought me to where I am today, pretty much.
That's cool.
I feel like I just kind of skipped.
No. That's a great synopsis. Right. So if you don't mind, I'm gonna kind of like, I want to try to remember all the things that came to mind.
Right.
But are you comfortable if I ever ask anything that you're not comfortable talking about, just say the word. So can you share a little bit about the pressure from your dad and like any like context to like what that felt like? As far as career-wise or anything else?
Oh, career-wise, he didn't want this at all. Like, he didn't want me to do music at all. For him, music was always kind of like a hobby. More of a distraction, actually, than a hobby.
So very much the opposite.
Yeah. He saw it as something that kind of got in the way of my school work, got in the way of my relationship with God, you would say, because of just like the nature of hip-hop and the language and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So he was never really a fan of it. Until I guess I started getting paid and started seeing, okay, you can pay the bills and you can cover this and cover that. And then it was kind of like, all right, you're a grown up now, whatever you choose. If you fuck up, it's gonna, can I cuss?
Yeah.
So if you mess up, it's kind of, you're gonna have to pay for it and you're gonna have to learn from it and stuff like that. And then I guess as he started accepting that a bit more, he came around and now he's actually supportive. It's like, he's a fan.
Yeah.
Now he pays attention and stuff like that.
Good.
But yeah, at first he wasn't for it at all.
Yeah, that's got to be hard when you're just like, I want you to love me and support me either way, but like, you can't do that. But with things like that, sometimes like he probably I don't know, but he probably grew up thinking that there's only one way to do it. Like, he didn't know, and now you showed him, you taught your own dad that there is actually another way to do it.
Yeah, he had a pretty rough growing up. Like, he's a bit traumatized, actually. Because every time I speak to him about, like, we're only just now starting to have conversations. Like, growing up, it was always like, it was never really a conversation with my father. He would tell you what to do and you did that, and you would be grateful for whatever you get type thing. But now we're starting to form like a relationship, so we talk a lot now. Now I ask him about his upbringing and how he grew up, and if he had any interest outside of like what he did for a living, like his job and stuff. So now I found out that he also actually wanted to be a musician.
No way.
Yeah, like I think he had like turntables, he had guitars at some point, he had a keyboard. He had a couple instruments actually.
Wait,
like 5 or 6 or something, but then he kind of just hid that from us because I guess it didn't work out or whatever, or maybe he had, I don't know, like tough feedback from his parents when he tried it. So maybe he was trying to just like avoid that. So he hid that side of his life from me.
That's so crazy.
So, yeah.
When really like all you probably needed was his empathy.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, I don't think everything happens for a reason, but I feel like that's probably like a journey for you guys of like down the line. It sounds like you're already getting there, but like you'll have like a different understanding of one another. And now it sounds like you're learning more about him, and maybe you can empathize with where he came from when he was being
kind of relate to each other.
Yeah.
In a way,
when he was being that hard and stuff.
Right.
And can you tell me like how that felt? Like, were you scared of your dad growing up?
Yeah, of course, always.
So can you give me like an example, or like try to like paint a picture of?
Dude, it was bad. It was like, it's like where we come from, like our traditions and our culture and just the way we're raised to treat our parents. It's like when they come home from work, you have to stop whatever it is that you're doing, and you kind of have to be like out of their sight pretty much until
Really?
they call you for something. Yeah, until they call you and tell you, oh, I need this and I need that. That's how we were raised. Like as soon as you see that car drive in the driveway, you clear up whatever it is that you were doing, even if you were making food or shit like that. You just have to clear it up and get to your room type thing.
So this is your culture or your family specifically, or what?
Not specifically just my family. It was a lot of households operated like that.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's kind of like our culture, pretty much. It's like you have to show the ultimate respect for your parents.
Does that affect you nowadays? Like, do you ever find yourself like feeling like more apprehensive around certain people or something? Like,
Nah, not
okay,
people
that's good.
outside, because I think what it does is it creates like you end up resenting old people.
yeah.
'Cause you can never be yourself around them.
Yeah,
Right?
that sucks.
Or at least that's how you're raised
Yeah.
to think, right? So even though I respect my elders, wherever I go, I treat every elder like they're my parent type thing. But it doesn't. I don't fear them.
Yeah, it's
You
not
know,
a,
like
it's
that.
not. Yeah, I got you.
It's not the same.
And are you comfortable talking about the loss of your mom?
Yeah, what I know, I don't know too much about it yet.
Can you share what you know?
I know that she passed away when I was 11 months old. I don't really have like a memory of
Yeah, you're
her
so little.
or anything like that. Yeah, I was young as hell. I know that she was in a taxi on the way home. That's the story I heard anyways. She was on the taxi on the way home. I think my father was having some trouble with one of my sisters, who were, I think, yeah, my mother's daughter, my mother's oldest daughter, if I'm not mistaken, or one of her oldest daughters. I think my father was having trouble with her because she was just kind of like, oh, you're not my real father, and this and that, I can do whatever I want. And he didn't feel like he had the right to reprimand her, I guess. So he called her. She used to work in Joburg and we lived in Durban. So he called her to come back and kind of take care of the situation. She was in a taxi on the way back, and in South Africa, there's this thing that goes on. Like the taxi situation is like it's a dangerous business. It's like there's wars that break out every now and then over like routes and shit like that. So I guess the taxi that she was in was a part of this war, I guess, and they shot it up, and that's how she passed away. She just happened to be wrong place at the wrong time.
And she ended up getting shot.
That's
Is
how
that common?
Yeah, very common.
That is. So do people avoid taking taxis, or like some people
What
have
else can
to?
you do though?
Yeah.
What else you can do?
Well, A, thanks for sharing that, and B,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
I think the last time I talked to you, we talked a little bit about this, but do you know how the loss of your mom, not having her affected you, or do you not really know? Because you're like,
I don't really. I guess it only really hit me when I was like 17, 18. You know, because that's when I realized, oh shit, everyone else kind of knows so much about their own mothers and this and that, and so many kids have these stories about their parents, but I know nothing about my mother type thing.
Yeah.
And I always just like had different stepmothers growing up, so it kind of felt like there was never enough time for me to build an actual relationship type thing. You know what I mean?
So your dad got married multiple times?
Yeah.
And how was that for you?
It was normal growing up because I didn't know anything else, so it was like, all right, this is my new mom now, I guess.
Oh man.
Until it wasn't. You know?
My God, I want to give you a hug. Like,
no, I'm all right, man, I'm good.
I mean, like I said, we've talked once before, and like I was just like, oh my gosh, he's so nice and like connected on the manifestation level and everything.
Right.
But like things like that, I'm just like, I wish that I could just like take that away from you, but anyway.
Life, man. It builds us.
Yeah,
These type of things.
Yes.
It builds us, you know. Kind of build my character. I guess that's why I'm so humble, respectful, whatever.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of people could go the opposite way.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
So cheers to you for coming out so well. Okay, thanks for sharing that. And on a maybe more positive note, let's talk about like how you've manifested your life and how you've manifested your success and being one of the biggest artists in South Africa.
Mm-hmm.
Like, tell me anything come to mind when you think about how you manifested your life?
When you say that, I immediately just think about like when I was like 13, and this is the story I told you, I think. When I was 13, my big brother, who's actually the guy that taught me how to use FL Studio and how to record myself, how to make beats and stuff like that.
Cool.
So he used to always go to one of his friends and get me like, so we have rewritable discs, right? Remember those CDs where you could So
like
he
an
had one
actual
of those.
CD or
an
a floppy
actual
disk?
CD.
Yeah.
Actual CD that you could rewrite. So he used to go to this other guy, a close friend of his, Ubongani. Used to go to him, get all these softwares, get the plugins that I needed and stuff like that. And one day he went there to get, I think he was trying to get me a game, like a video game. I think it was GTA or FIFA or something like that. But I think Bongani made a mistake and gave him the wrong disc in return, right? And it just so happened to have the Law of Attraction documentary or movie.
No way. I actually don't think you told me this.
Yeah, but that's really how I got put onto it. So then I just watched it because I thought it was a movie. I was like, all right, I might as well just watch it.
That's so funny. Okay.
Yeah, so I watched it, and obviously like being desperate to find any sort of like motivational, inspirational, anything to kind of, give me a glimpse of what life could be. Or
attach yourself to.
Yeah, I was like, immediately I was like, all right, I want to try it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't have nothing to lose anyways, I'm just going to try it. So I tried it. First I tried it on like small stuff, meaningless stuff really. I tried it on like shoes. I used to draw Chuck Taylors. I was a huge fan of Wayne, and Wayne always wore like Chuck Taylors.
Yeah.
I used to draw Chuck Taylors, put them on my Facebook DP and stuff like that. And then, just to give you a little bit of context, father never really bought me a lot of clothes like that. Like he would buy us what we needed.
Yeah.
Like school uniform, pair of shoes, maybe something like that.
But you weren't showing up with merch like this.
No. So that's what I did. And then I don't know, I just started being able to get all these things that I used to always just draw and put up and try and manifest and picture myself wearing and shit like that. And then those things just started just coming to me like randomly.
How?
I don't know.
Like
at some point he bought me a pair. At some point I just found a way to raise money and buy myself my own pair. People would offer me shit.
That's so cool.
Yeah. And then I did the same thing with like, I didn't have a phone. I used my brother's phone, and I wanted a Blackberry because that was like the in thing. So I downloaded this theme, a Blackberry theme on a Nokia. Picture myself using a Blackberry and shit like that. And before you know it, I had multiple. I had like 3 Blackberries at a time.
You're like, I don't even need these.
Yeah, in that 1 year, I had like 10, I think. And that was crazy. And I was like, okay, cool, this thing works. And then I started to apply it to like stuff that mattered. Like I started thinking about success. Started thinking about like passing my grades at school, just being a better person in general, and just like, being successful at what I really wanted to do, which was music.
And what was the first thing that happened in music that you kind of manifested?
Getting a proper microphone is one of the things that I got, like it was very intentional. I was like, all right, cool, I need a microphone that looks like this. I didn't even know what it was called. I didn't know how to get it. I didn't know how much it cost, but I just had a picture of it. Because I saw like, when you see music videos and shit like that, like you see Snoop rapping into that mic, and I was like, I need that microphone.
I need Snoop's mic.
I need Snoop's mic. So I got that, and then I was like, all right, now I need shows and stuff like that. And shit just kind of started to fall in place, It just became a part of my daily cycle, I think. Every time I woke up, I used to just always think about what I wanted and what me working on music and take music as like being my career looked like, and it just started to manifest.
That's so cool. And so you do it to this day.
Yeah.
Okay. Any, like, can you give us, like, manifestation applied daily 101? Like, is there any advice, any, like, steps?
Yeah, an easy way to do it. Like when you, I don't even have the time to do this anymore. Well, I do have the time, actually. I'm lying, but I should be doing this, but I don't really do it anymore. What you can do is when you wake up, write a list of the things, write like 10 things that you want to manifest, right?
That day?
Yeah, that day.
Or in general, okay.
That day. You can have like a list on your wall that you see every day, but it's always good to write it because as you're writing it, you're thinking about it, you're imagining it. Imagination is a huge part of this thing. Why is there shit everywhere in New York?
I don't know. This is not going to convince you to want to move here.
No, it's definitely not helpful. But yeah, so you write those things down, you imagine them. Imagining them is a huge part of it, but what really ties it all together and I guess makes it even stronger is if you feel some type of way as you're doing that. Your emotions have to be heightened, have to be very strong while you're doing that.
Meaning like you're feeling what it feels like to have.
To have it.
Yeah.
All right, you have to write it as if, like you have to accept it. You have to, what are the steps again? I think it's believe, my mind is going blank. Okay.
Believe, feel, like.
That's not, yeah, it's believe something in the middle and then the third one is receive, right?
Okay.
So you have to believe that you can attain these things. You have to be grateful, you know, and then the third step is you have to receive it. So as you're writing down the things you want, you can't say, I want a Mercedes. You have to say, I am so grateful that I get to drive a Mercedes.
Oh yeah. It has to be like, you know, as if you have it.
As if you have it. Yeah, so every day in the morning you can write like a list of those things. Just feel good about it as you're writing it. Just feeling them is very important. And then just go about your day. Don't worry too much about how you're gonna get them or when you're gonna get them. Just go about your day and then just do that every single day. And it sounds ridiculous and I'm the worst person at explaining stuff. So
No, you're doing great.
But yeah, it works.
But my one question is, that list for the day, are you supposed to be receiving those things that day?
No.
Okay, it's just like you're starting to get in the habit of picturing them.
Yeah, but some things you can receive in that day though. Like say for instance, you know that day you're gonna have an interview. Maybe you want a job at some place.
Yeah.
And you know you're supposed to have an interview that day. Just wake up in the morning, just write down all the things that you want that person to like about you. You say, I'm so glad Spencer likes my personality, or the way I dressed, or the way I showed up today, or he likes my presentation, or whatever. That thing can actually happen. If you feel good about it, and that's your energy throughout the whole day, that's exactly what's gonna happen.
Okay, so my last question on manifestation is, do you ever have days where you're like, just doubting yourself? Like, I can't hit that number of listens or something, like, and if you've ever had that, how you deal with it and get yourself to a place where you can
get past that. It definitely happens. There's many ways you can get over it. It's not easy. I can't just, there's no method, there's no real method to just unfeel those things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's very hard. If you have good people around you with good energy and stuff like that, always try and go to them and, you know, speak to them about something positive to kind of just drag your mind out of that zone.
Okay.
And then come back to it with a lighter heart, with a brighter perspective.
Okay. That's cool.
You always feel a little bit.
So
trying to do it by yourself is damn near impossible sometimes.
Yeah, I believe it. That's something I kind of struggle with sometimes. So you as an artist, do you attribute that largely to your like belief in yourself and your manifesting your life and your career?
I think so, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I always just kind of had to believe that I could do half of the stuff that I've done without having anyone else confirm that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Half of it I've had to imagine it, believe that it can be done by myself. Because everyone else is kind of like, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, got it. Yeah. So is there anything that you're experiencing right now that we might hear in your music down the line?
That's
like
a lot, man.
Something has to come to mind.
Let me see. Gratitude is one of them. The biggest one, I guess. Like as of lately, I've just been very grateful for a lot of stuff that's been happening. You know, even me being here for this long and working with the people that I've been working with and meeting all these people, and having so many people tell me how they've been listening to my music and stuff, especially up here, because you never think, like I just, it's hard to imagine the people that have been telling me that they heard my music and that they love it, and they pick out specific songs that are not like singles that we don't necessarily use to target these markets and stuff like that, it always just feels like, whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so gratitude is definitely the one thing that you're gonna hear.
And you'll probably put that in your music in some capacity?
Yeah, maybe I won't be that specific.
Yeah.
And not in, as much detail, but yeah.
Yeah, okay. And how about any insight into your music making process?
Right.
I think I've heard you say that it's different than...
Always random.
Oh, it's always random?
Yeah, always random. Most of the time it'll be like, if I'm in the studio and someone sent me a pack and I'm just listening to beats and stuff like that, I kind of just go through my notes, because when I travel, I get like a lot of ideas, but it's never full song ideas.
Yeah.
It'll always be like a line or whatever.
Start with something.
Right, and I just jot them down in my notes, and then when I'm in the studio listening to beats, I'll be like, okay, this is putting me in this kind of mood, and I'll just kind of go through my notes and I'll find something that matches it, and I'll be like, if it fits, and I build on that.
Okay. So that's consistent. That's
kind of, yeah.
Okay, but then
that's
like
the most consistent.
Okay, but then like what comes of it is kind of random, and how you go about actually like.
Sometimes I'll just be in there. Someone will make a noise somewhere. Someone might drop something. It might go, and I'll be like, oh shit, that can turn into this, and I'll start making a beat. I make beats too, so sometimes that'll be like an idea to start off with, like if I'm making a beat or something like that.
Yeah. Or
someone might say something. So I'm with a lot of people from a lot of different places. Like we're from South Africa, but Jonesy's from Philly. My manager Kevin is from Ghana. My other photographer Nani is from Zimbabwe. So just hearing how people speak and how they phrase certain things and stuff like that is always interesting. Also, it might say something that you could have said, but in such a way that it's like, yo, that will make a dope line or a dope hook or a dope, you know what I mean?
That's
and
cool.
That might inspire something.
And I don't know if this is part of that, but I would imagine that some part of that could also be like what you're gathering from people from different places.
Right.
Also might like, does that ever inspire your lyrics too, or
yeah,
like
does.
the content?
Absolutely, 100%,
Yeah,
100%.
because then that probably helps you target different audiences who are not just like you.
I don't think about it. I don't go that far into it when I think about it, but it's like, it's always cool to say stuff in a different way.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
To put it simply.
Okay, so switching gears, who were the out of the 5 most important people in your life?
Right.
Can you tell us about like who 1 or 2 of them are and why they're important to you? Because they say the people you surround yourself with are like
reflection of who you
yes, a reflection of who you are.
So one of them has to be my brother, of course. Who's my manager.
Oh wait,
him right there.
Okay.
So that's my real brother, my manager.
Okay.
Yeah, very grateful for him, of course. I don't have to go into detail why with him. He's pretty much raised me, so that covers it.
Yeah.
Who else? Let me see. My friends, I guess they're not here with me right now because this is a business trip. But my friends, very grateful for them. We think alike. We sort of dream and set our goals the same way, so it always feels like I'm with people who get me, who understand my vision and stuff like that. Very grateful for them.
Is there anyone who's like an unexpected person that you like wouldn't think of? Like a random person from like.
See, I don't want. There's a lot of people that I'm grateful for that might watch this and think, oh, he didn't mention me, so he's not grateful.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, I'm grateful for a lot of people, man. But it's not a lot of people that I'm like, yo, without this person, maybe I would go insane.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a very few of them.
It's like it's giving me like Golden Globes speech vibes, where like the music starts going on and they're still trying to like thank people and they don't want to offend anyone. Like
it's kind of like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that.
So no hard feelings.
No hard feelings to anyone I didn't mention.
Can you share something? And if you can't think of anything, it's fine. But like, is there anything that you've never said in an interview? Is there any part of you that like aspect of who you are, or anything that like you can give to us that like we'd be surprised about?
Oh, you have to ask me a question. See, I'm not a really talkative person, so it's not like I have these things in the back of my mind to share.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
That's fine.
You would have to ask me a question.
Okay. All right, and if something comes to mind for either of us on that note, let me know and I'll let you know.
Of course. Yeah.
So, okay, then let's talk about business lessons. Like, how did you like everyone talks about like, oh, you signed with a label, which is like a really cool thing. But how do you know like when to feel comfortable signing? Like, what have you learned about like reading the fine print and all that stuff?
With me, it's like every time I sign any kind of deal, it's always been like months in the works, right? So I get to spend a lot of time with whoever that is that's trying to sign me, right? It's never been like a thing that just comes through my manager that's like, oh, this label wants to sign us, yay, and then we sign. No, it's never like that. I spend a lot of time with these people, and I'm always very intentional with like letting them know exactly what I'm trying to do, you know? Which, to be specific, is trying to get my music out here, because music, I mean, not music, but like hip-hop music comes from here, right? This is where it was birthed, kind of. So, and I rap in English too. Most of my music is inspired by people, artists from Atlanta, artists from New York, LA, stuff like that. So with like the recent deals that I've been signing, it hasn't just been about getting them to put my music on radio and stuff. We can figure that stuff out by ourselves. It's social media, there's so many different ways we can do that. But I always, I told them that this was the mission. I told them, yo, this is not gonna be easy, man. There's like 100,000 rappers out of this place already that are in here, that are in market, that if you call them, they can show up. You know what I mean? Just like that. I'm all the way across the fucking planet.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not going to be so easy to break me out here and stuff like that. So I make sure that they understand shit's not going to be easy. It's going to take a lot of work. It's going to be a lot of, you know, and a lot of headaches and stuff like that. So that's why this is personally for me. I take a lot of time just like sitting down with them, making sure they understand.
And are you talking about like across the board, or are you talking about specific to the label?
Specific to the label.
Okay.
But not only just them, it was Def Jam and Universal, so this is a JV.
Yeah.
So I've had this conversation with both of them. And even the label I was with prior, like before that, which that ended up not working out. But like those are the only 3 deals I've signed in my life.
Yeah.
So it's always just been...
So it sounds like just communicating is basically the most important.
Yeah. And then all the other stuff, you just have to just read it.
But do you understand the legal jargon?
I get my manager to write that shit in English. I tell him, yo, just because they write it in lawyer terms, and I'm just like, dude, who are you writing this for? Like, you're not signing my lawyer, you're signing me. I'm a 25-year-old kid from below, but don't like write it in English. Let me understand exactly what I'm getting into.
And you mean like it's already written in English, but like write it in like terms that I can understand?
That is not English, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like one of the scariest parts about like doing business.
Yeah.
And do you remember what one of the, I'm sure you got like your first big check or a few first big checks. Was there anything noteworthy that you did with your first big check?
Like something stupid that I bought?
Good or bad? Either way.
Yeah, good, of course. Yeah, like I bought an apartment that I've been leasing out. So that was like my first key in the...
That you're leasing out?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're a landlord.
Yeah.
You're a real estate owner.
Right.
Cool. So that was a good one.
That was a good one. A terrible one was buying an expensive watch. But it did what I wanted it to do. You know, I always wanted a Rolex, so I bought it. I wanted that kind of satisfaction, and I got it. And it was everything I wanted it to be. You know, it fulfilled its purpose.
Yeah.
What I wanted it. Yeah.
But it was. You're saying it was kind of.
It was stupid. Yeah, it was different, dumb.
Just because, why? Because it's like not that necessary?
It's not necessary at all, though. Not even not that. It just wasn't necessary at all. It was stupid. And I lost it.
What? You did?
Yeah.
And you haven't found it?
I didn't lose it. I got robbed.
Oh.
Yeah, it was like a house invasion situation. And I was just like, man, that was dumb.
No insurance?
It's too young. That's what I'm saying. It was stupid.
Well, sometimes you gotta lose your Rolex in order to learn how to treat your Rolex.
Yeah, you know.
That's okay.
But yeah.
And you bought your dad a house, right?
Yeah, bought my dad a house.
Casual?
No, built it actually from scratch.
Okay, built it from scratch.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you. And then turned the house that we grew up in, tore it down, and we're building a gaming center now. So it's like a gaming center / recording studio.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
Congratulations on making these moves. So do you just like know how to do all this, or you hire the people that you need?
No, I hire people that I need.
Okay, so you outsource.
So my brother, before I brought him onto the team, before he started doing music and stuff like that, he used to be a civil engineer. Right, so he knows a lot about how to build houses and what you need for this and that, and the cheapest way to get this and that and that. You know? So he's helping me out with a lot of the stuff that we're doing as far as that goes.
Okay, so he's the brains. So because some people like to do everything themselves and save the money and all that. Some people are like, no, time is money. I'm going to outsource.
Yeah, and you have to do it right too. Like imagine I tried to do all those things myself without the proper knowledge and I fucked it up.
Yeah.
That would be money wasted and time wasted.
Wait, let me point out. I feel like this guy was. I could be wrong, but I feel like he was asking maybe who you are or something.
Who?
Unless you know him. Walking with
maybe you saw the camera and saw you. And
I just saw them showing their phones. They're probably like, this is nasty. Check him out. Go follow him.
That's happened a couple times actually. It feels very good when it happens.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. It's very dope.
So you already said that you don't talk all that much, but how do you feel about potentially rapping something?
Right now? Oh my God. I don't want to rap something that I've already rapped so many different places and I've just been doing freestyles back to back to back to back to back.
So we can't get one here?
Nah, I'm so sorry.
What if we like do one together?
Go on together? What you want to do?
I don't know. I don't rap, but I could try something.
Okay, wait. All right, I'll do something. When is this coming out? Yeah, when is this coming out?
It can come out whenever you want. You tell me.
All right. I'll do something from the mixtape that I'm dropping tonight at midnight.
Okay.
The song's called Let's Go, featuring Damani.
Let's go.
Yeah. All right. So he goes, I just made a 4-clip lightly, feeling like YG, but I'm not banging. 2K14, gripping on post. Okay, wait. Say, I just made a 4-clip lightly, feeling like YG, but I'm not banging. 2K14, gripping on weight. See, it's not coming to my mind.
It is coming to your mind. This is so good.
All right, you go all the time.
And we wouldn't know the difference.
Okay. I just made a 4-clip lightly, feeling like YG, but I'm not banging. 2K14, imitating porn scenes, gripping on waist and spanking. Ayy, pussy like morphine. I just got more sleep. She got an A for amazing. Ayy, she got a thing for an Asian. Ayy, she don't even know I'm not Asian. She don't even know I'm not chasing. Yeah, corruption got rid of the casings. Ayy, NFT death for my paintings. Look, ETH my payments. Ayy, I'm running out of my patience. I'm gonna just take this shit back to the basics. Yeah, nasty a big man now. My whiskey shit, I developed the tasting.
Hell yeah!
Little teaser.
Nasty C, New York City, Street Walks with Sage. Thank you so much for doing that.
Thank you.
Like, I wish I could do that.
Yeah.
Like, how does your, like, I guess you don't know, but to me, I'm just like, how does that even come out of your mouth?
What's that, the rhymes and stuff?
Yeah, like.
It's kind of natural to me now because I've been writing for a long time.
Does it feel so good to be able to do that?
It does, yeah.
I'm like,
you should try it. It's not that hard, man. You should try it.
But if I were to, if I were to try rapping, where does one even start with that?
You just have to think about cool shit to say sometimes. Sometimes it's not even that deep. Like if you have something that you want to get off your chest, of course it's easier that way. But other than that, just think of something cool to say and then just make it rhyme. It's really not that hard.
Okay, so like let me just give you an example of like how I would try to do this.
Right.
Okay, like me thinking about
Say something cool about New York.
Okay, I was gonna say like you being in New York, but I can't even think of like what rhymes with nasty. Wasty, lasty, basty.
See, that's hard. You say New York. What rhymes with New York?
Dork.
Pork.
Pork. Okay, so it'd be like, yo, it's so weird in New York. Going to get some pork. See, I don't think it's as easy as you think.
Just a little bit more rhythm, and then that'll be it though. Like it's really not that. It's not that deep. It's not that serious sometimes.
How much do you charge per hour for lessons?
I don't do lessons. I can give it to you for free.
Oh, thank you. Because this girl needs it. If I were to pursue it. Okay, so far, is there anything that you'd want to talk about that we haven't chatted about yet?
Got a mixtape coming out.
Yeah. Okay, tell me about.
And this merch to go with it.
Oh, okay. So first, let's talk about the mixtape.
Okay.
Tell us the name again and where the inspiration comes from.
So the mixtape is called Iverson Army mixtape. Just to give you a little bit of context, Aggie Sun. Well, you know about Aggie Sun is my company, my brand that I put together using my mother's name, Ivy. So Aggie Sun. And then we started a tour in like 2017. There's really no tours in South Africa, so we were like, all right, let's be the first to do an actual tour where it's like we do not just spot dates, but we do shows back to back to back in cities and stuff like that. And it's been a huge success, right? It's called the Iverson Tour. It's been running since 2017. But then what happened was COVID came, 2020, and we couldn't do it anymore. And shows just kind of cancel stuff pretty much, right?
Weren't a thing anymore.
Right, and then 2021, trying to bring it back to life, we did a smaller version of it. We called it the Aggie Sun Army tour, because we felt like everyone who really wanted the Iverson tour to come back was a part of this Iverson Army, you know? Because in the midst of like everything that happened between 2020 and 2021, different genres popped up in SA, and hip hop was kind of like a thing that people didn't even care about anymore. Hip hop is not that huge in South Africa, just so you know. And then, so we were like, all right, cool. Everyone who's still fighting for hip hop right now to stay alive and shit like that is a part of this army. We're an army, right?
Because you know that they're following you, basically.
Exactly. So we did that tour, and it was successful beyond our expectations, right? We even had Damani there. We brought Damani down just to kind of introduce him to the SA fan base. We had a great time there. And then halfway through the tour, we were just like, yo, we should do a mixtape just to kind of thank everyone who was a part of it. So the artists and also the audience, right? The people that came through. We call it the Iverson Army mixtape. And on the track list, as it features, is everyone that was a part of the tour. So Damani, Case Closed, Teleman, all my fellow artists from back at home. And collaboration back at home is not really a huge thing, especially within the hip hop community. So this is one of those things to kind of just show people that, yo, if we come together, shit could come back alive type thing.
That's
cool. What that's about, yeah. And then this is the merch to go with it.
So also, that's dope that you are kind of like paving the way for the collaboration, because that's how people grow, especially nowadays, is by collaborating. Not always, but a lot of times. And if that's not really a thing in South Africa, like, might as well be the first to bring everyone to the table.
Yeah.
And then the mixtape is really cool, the way you're tying that in, and kind of like that also, just to talk about how that benefits you, but it also it benefits everyone. But like, then all those artists on that mixtape, they want to promote it.
Yeah, exactly. And then, so we're going back on tour 22nd of October, right? But we're doing the big version again now, because now we know that there's actual demand for hip hop again. So we know people actually do want to come through. So we're doing the bigger version again on 22nd of October, and we're performing all of these songs. And these people have never really seen us perform together with all these artists. Like, it's not a normal thing, right? Like I said. So this time they're gonna actually get to see all their favorite SA artists performing together on stage. And it's just gonna be a beautiful moment.
That's so cool. Yeah. So it's specific to South Africa?
Yes, but we do take it outside of South Africa. Like, when we started it, we took it to Kenya, we took it to Namibia, took it to Rwanda. Yeah. So we do take it outside of South Africa.
That's so
And eventually,
cool.
hopefully, it ends up, you know?
Yeah. Worldwide.
That's the goal.
Okay, and let's talk about the merch.
Yes.
So is the merch specific to the mixtape release, or?
No, not just the mixtape. It's also just growing the Ivy Sun brand, you know, just getting it out there. Like, this whole logo, it's the Ivy Sun. But this is for the mixtape.
Okay. And can you tell us what it says again?
So this says, in harmony with the hell around me, because heaven's in my head. In harmony with the hell inside me, heaven's in my bed. That's a little pun for people who know. I won't tell you.
What?
No, let me go.
What?
And then it says, in harmony with the things that drive me, guess that's why I sped. And then the ones that were meant to confine me gave me extra fuel instead.
Yeah,
and then
the hell with them.
Yeah. But you asked me. And there's another piece that's like brighter in color. It's like it's got a white palette and shit like that. That has the opposite message. Not an opposing message, but like something that's a bit more positive.
Okay. So are these your words?
Yeah.
And is this from a pre-existing song or a song?
No, I just wrote it for this.
Just for the.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have this tattooed on my shoulders. I have this, I think, on this side, and then I have the angel on this side. So it's like the devil and the angel, demon and the angel.
And where does that come from?
There was a phase where I was kind of still in it, where I was like very obsessed with just being in trying to find some sort of harmony with everything going on around me. I live an insane life, you know. There's a lot of good shit that happens, and I'm happy for it, and I'm super grateful. But there's a lot of wicked shit that I get exposed to, that I come in very close contact with.
Can you paint some?
Just like the way we have to move on its own is like, it's like we shouldn't have to move like that. But as we understand that as rappers, as artists, and whatever, we have to move that way. Not up here, no one knows me, so I can just kind of walk around the streets like this.
Yeah.
But back at home, I have to have certain people around me.
Yes.
Just for protection and shit like that. And, you know.
Thank you for that. And continue with what you were saying.
Yeah, so just having to live that way and having to always keep your head on a swivel, looking around, knowing that evil is like, there's people always trying to sabotage you, people trying to get shit out of you. You never really know what relationship is genuine or, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. I feel like that's the hell around me. And I have to kind of be in harmony with it in order to be able to still work through it, because that's just the way it is. Right? Hip-hop is just like that. It's just toxic and whatever. Yeah, so it's like
Finding the balance.
Finding the balance.
Yeah, I got that. Okay, so plug yourself. Where we?
This you can find. There'll probably be a link in my bio if you go to my page at nasty_CSA. There'll be a link up there where you can buy it. And get it shipped to you, no matter where you are in the world.
Cool.
You can get it.
So you don't know the actual website though? Yet.
I do. It's Iverson Entertainment.io.
Okay.
Iverson Entertainment.io.
Okay. Cool. And mixtape comes out tonight, meaning tomorrow is September 16th.
Yeah. Friday.
Cool. Let me think. Is there anything? We didn't miss anything, right?
I don't think we did.
Are there any other exclusives you want to give us here?
Nah, I can't spill the beans at the moment. There's a lot of exciting stuff though. I definitely will reach out again, just so you know. What's coming out. Okay. I don't think I can tell you right now though. There's a lot of exciting stuff though that's been happening.
Like what is it? Okay. But can you tell me what you were like alluding to here? When you were like, you said like, you were like about to say something but then didn't.
I don't want to say. I can't say. I can't tell you.
Oh man. Okay, on the next one, right?
On the next one, yeah. Maybe I'll be in a place where I can tell you.
Okay. Yeah. It hurts, but I'll accept it. All right, Nasty C, thanks for being here. I appreciate it so much.
Thank you.
Cheers to you and everything you're doing, and you've got a fan in me, like I've said before.
I appreciate it. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course.
This is fun. It's felt like therapy, you know? What up? This is Superman on some Power, Nasty C. You are watching Street Walks with your girl Sage.
And comment to let us know if you can watch the car, if you can guess the pun on his jacket. And don't forget to pick up some merch too.
All right. Appreciate you.